No idea.
I
But I'm
just
going to tell you I'm going to be back.
what? A really determined one will work out until he can carry a lot of weight.
If he works that hard, maybe he deserves me. Just saying. Maybe that is my type.
I think you're wanting too much out of novellas lately.
Maybe.
Does your shirt say you are not my type?
Yep.
Fair, fair, fair.
I mean,
Who is your type?
exactly.
Do you want a man in finance? Actually, a man with a job, legally a job, and a car. That's like the bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Yeah. I don't, there's a lot of bare minimums these days, and I don't think that
And
most would
honestly,
see the
at
bare
this
minimum.
time, we don't even need the minimum. We just want the bare. Yeah, that was the most dad joke I could have made, and you're so fucking welcome for that. Congratulations, you're a winner.
So we would have been back from the beach today a lot earlier. However, went on a detour because we went to stop at the store real quick. Instead, I need to tell you that we found what I can only describe as a black market store
Uh, mm,
in my area. So
I need you
on the
to
front
elaborate
outside,
because
yeah.
that's sketchy. What body parts are they selling? Kidneys?
No, like it's like a market, but it's like a black market.
Sure.
So on the outside, it looks like it's a farmer's stand.
Mm-hmm.
So you park and you're like, oh, fresh produce. Great. Sounds awesome. The person I was with was like, you've never been here? I'm like, just a produce stand. Like, the prices never seemed like, oh, no, no, no. Pull in here.
Oh God.
Okay.
Intrigue.
I mean, I listened, Avi.
Well, duh.
Behind the first little, you go through this like plastic sheet thing. And I'm not making it sound less murdery, but this like plastic
It's
sheet thing.
sounding like you're going through to a like one of those back of the butcher shops where all the pigs are hanging.
Yes, that,
Okay.
that, that.
Painting a real good picture here.
Into this like trailer. Okay.
Okay.
Refrigerated trailer. And all of a sudden you walk in and there's a wall of produce,
Okay.
like bagged, like farmer's produce, like all kinds of shit just bagged up. Like, and then priced by the bag. Like, you want lettuce? It's just in a like a goldfish bag. And like, but cheap. I got some bean sprouts, a whole bag of fresh bean sprouts for like $1. And
Is
I was
this
like,
business legal?
I don't know. So then I was amazed at just this. And then she looks at me and she goes, but wait, there's more.
Oh God.
And then she leads me deeper. So we get to the end of this like trailer and then it opens to a new one. And then it was like, then there was more stuff. And then we go into another one. And then this one was extra refrigerated. And then we have like cheeses and meats and all kinds of bagged shit. and all kinds of stuff. Then we go into another one, and now we have cereals and all kinds of stuff. Like they had like bags and bags and bags of like chips and popcorns and all kinds of stuff. And then there's this guy roaming with this like booming voice, just making his way through all the little side quest areas
Mm-hmm.
and randomly shouting that random things are now on sale. Like
Oh.
like while we were there, like for example, there was like this case of sweet potato chips, and he's like, "I want this out of here. $2 now. This is $2. Who's gonna take the?" And like shit like that. This is
The
the last
fuck?
watermelon. Who wants this for 50 cents? Kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, right.
The fuck?
Like, and reminding everyone that on Fridays there is an auction at 6 p.m. and everything must go.
The fuck?
No idea.
I
But I'm
just
going to tell you, I'm going to be back.
what?
I was told you never know what you're going to get there. It's always something different.
Okay. Okay.
We found some like backwoods, like black
So
market.
here's the thing, Ariel. You know how we tell people that we shouldn't get into vans with strange people? I feel like you shouldn't go into strange places where they're like, don't worry about it. And then you just continue going deeper and deeper into apparently a black market.
In my defense, a friend of mine
Uh,
was leading me in, and I thought I was just going to get produce at a farmer's stand. I didn't realize it was going to keep going.
okay, so if they said, hey, follow me into this white van, would you also go?
Probably not, especially with the story she told me on the way home of
Oh,
how she met her husband.
oh, okay.
Remind me to tell you that one.
Fabulous. Love that. This is our work. Okay. So do as we say and not as we do, guys.
Yes. And
Please.
if you're wondering why we're talking about the beach, um,
We're talking about
welcome to October. Sorry about that. We decided to take off the month of September because it's
we can.
a rough time of year and
Because of
back to
you.
school is a rough ride. And it helped reset our brains by doing that at the beginning of the year. So we were like, okay, maybe we can set ourselves up for success and do that again. Are we crying now in July and August? Yes, by doubling up on recordings so that our October episodes that we would normally record in September are done in July and August. Yeah, we're crying. But that's why. So
Yeah, you don't
it's
want to
still
know our
warm in
conversations.
August and stuff. So sorry for that if you're wondering and you're feeling the October vibes. But we'll get back into October vibes because we brought an October vibe book today. It was a request. We did not choose this. It chose us, and we're just here for the ride.
We're
This week
we're here for
for our
something.
yeah, this week for our first episode of Cocktober, we read Carving for Cara by Melissa McSherry and Dana LeeAnn. And yeah, this
And
book was
yeah,
a wild ride. I'm going to bring up the trigger warning because many might
need it.
need it. And I forgot to write it down. So, yeah, I had a great time checking the place out. Apparently, I looked like a kid in a candy store, and they got way too much enjoyment out of watching me enjoy this place.
That's funny.
And then I was told I was way too easy to please.
You would be way too easy to kidnap. apparently, at this point.
Yeah.
Like, sweet Jesus, Ariel.
Though, on that note, I did see a post at one point in time that because there was some serial killer going around and they were like, for science, how heavy do I have to be off this person's radar? Because they were going
I think
after,
I saw that.
women or whatever. And I'm just saying, I think I'm safe.
From that one,
Maybe they'll feed me.
honestly, probably the only reason they're saying 130 pounds is they probably can't carry anything heavier. And there are people,
Exactly.
yeah, but a really determined one will work out until he can carry a lot of weight.
If he
He,
works that hard, maybe he deserves me. Just saying. Maybe that is my type. So the trigger warning for carving for Cara is violence, gore, explicit language, knife play, consensual, non-consensual sex, sexual assault, restriction, stalking, mutilation, and death of a side character. Praise, mention of addiction, marijuana use, gagging, excessive force, choking, and explicit sex scenes. You have been warned.
yeah.
I would also like to note that for those who have read the book ahead of time, because you heard our last episode blurb letting you know what we're here for, and you're here just to have a good time, carving for Cara brings a whole new meaning. Just saying. So, on that note, the dedication to this book is for the girls who dream of being chased through a cornfield by a masked man and then fucked in the pumpkin patch when he catches you. So the first thing I thought of was Crystal better buckle up because the cornfield might be similar vibes from last year.
Yeah, it's not.
It was not.
Yeah,
Just that, but that was my first thought upon seeing the dedication.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh
such a
boy,
problem
yeah.
with that last year. Everyone
Yep.
who's seen that TikTok video knows. And also listened to the episode also knows.
So we open our book with Cara, who goes all out for Halloween. She even bought an old Victorian style home that sits on the corner of October Lane and Cemetery Circle because spooky vibes. The house is gray and black, and the whole town that she lives in has spooky vibes to it. The house kind of reminds me, as it's described, of the house from Haunting and Hunting Adeline. She loves living there, and her lawn is one of those that end up being posted on social media with how much she goes all out for it. She has giant carved pumpkins, gravestones, dry ice, lights that flash in time to Halloween music, the whole nine yards. Cara is a tattoo artist, and she is just finishing up lighting her giant jack-o'-lantern pumpkins in her yard when her best friend Sloane calls her on the phone. Sloane is a hairstylist in town, and Sloane knows all the best drama and gossip. Sloane is just finishing up at work, so they make plans to meet in 10 minutes at the coffee shop for some pumpkin spice lattes. Gross, yeah.
I don't. Uh, I am a basic white bitch, but I do not like pumpkin spice lattes. Do I like pumpkin beer? Yes, and I talk about this every single year. Different. I hate a pumpkin
I
spice
don't
latte.
like any of
You don't like
that.
coffee, so you're
Exactly. That's
not
what I mean. I don't
included.
like any of that.
Okay, you're not included in this,
I
Ariel,
don't like
because
pumpkin pie either.
oh, I don't like pumpkin pie either. But
So
it's
I
the
don't like
worst
pumpkin
pie.
flavor or coffee. Cara gets all the jack-o'-lanterns lit, but she does burn herself in the process. Thought that was going to go somewhere. It didn't. But it's done, so she grabs her wallet and keys and heads off to meet Sloane. They meet in front of the shop and head in and get their drinks and go to find a table. But on their way, Cara locks eyes with a very handsome stranger in the shop and is immediately enamored by him and his tattoos. She's overwhelmed with how weirdly intense their not even real exchange is as she passes by. Sloane, clearly seeing the whole thing, gives her a smirk as they sit down, and then they start talking about the party that evening that they're going to. Well, that Sloane's going to, and how she really wants Cara to go. How she can't just hide out in her creepy old house by herself.
Yes, I can.
Right? Cara doesn't want to go because she knows her ex is going to be there, and he is a douche canoe. Cara has continued to hate fuck him and is not proud of it, and doesn't want that to come out when she's there.
Because Sloane would be not too happy about that shit.
Yeah. But Sloane needs her to go because her current love interest will be there. Cara agrees as long as Sloane drives, which pretty sure Cara ended up driving, so that's weird, but whatever. Sloane says that Cara could use a good night of getting out and finding someone to screw anyways, because her vibrator is probably well overused at this point.
Because Sloane doesn't know that she's actually fucking the ex.
Right. And why is it a bad thing if her vibrator is extra used? And maybe she has multiple. Maybe she takes good care of herself. Maybe she's just fine the way she is.
Maybe Ariel was feeling a little attacked.
Maybe she is just fine.
Amazon. I'm just kidding.
For reals. But either way, the damn bitch says that loud enough that mystery man definitely can overhear the whole thing. Rhett, the man, has been in town for a week. He is there because the Don Leon cartel has made this little town in the middle of nowhere their new headquarters, and his sole mission in life is to destroy their entire operation and kill their incompetent leader. He's been in the cafe for the last couple hours on his computer trying to hack into some of their overseas bank accounts while downing some surprisingly pretty good coffee when he locks eyes with the most beautiful woman he has ever seen. It only takes that split second for her to become his new fixation. He checks out her cup as she walks by and sees her name written on the side of it, and now he knows her name. He has some overwhelming sense that he thinks she's someone who accepts him for who he is,
Vibes.
even though he has no clue anything about her.
It's vibes.
Yeah. He just gets the feeling. So she must be fate. She must be his.
Okay.
He listens in on their conversation about the party and how Cara wants her friend to drive because of the gravel roads being too narrow around the lake. So he obviously gets out his phone and searches the area and the lakes around and tries to find exactly where they're going for the evening. And he listens to the rest of their conversation, learning that she's a tattoo artist and how the friend's a hairstylist and also how she thinks Cara needs to get laid. And he thinks that he's up for the job. The girls finish their drinks and leave, and Rhett and Cara lock eyes again on the way by. And then Rhett gathers his stuff to get ready to leave himself. He leaves the shop and heads to a clothing store across the street that has a small cart outside full of Halloween costumes, because if he's going to a Halloween party that evening, he's going to need one. He has a girl to meet at a party after all. He finds a scarecrow mask that is the perfect amount of creepy and heads back to the apartment he's using to get ready. The girls also get ready for the Halloween party. Sloane is in a skimpy devil costume and Cara is in an angel to counter it matching. The girls have been friends forever and have had matching costumes forever. Sloane is wondering if they should bring jackets, but Cara does not want to cover up the glorious sluttiness their costumes are. Besides, there'll be a bonfire there if they need it. They each do a shot before they head out, and Cara can't help but feel a sense of danger lurking around the night as she locks the door and heads to her car. Rhett has taken the time waiting for the party to hack into all of Cara's social media accounts and go through conversations. He's figured out that Sloane is her best friend and that she seems to be screwing her ex-boyfriend still, though he can't seem to find any family conversations. He gets some food in him while he learns all he can about his target before he surprises her at the party. He showers, dresses in black, and grabs the scarecrow mask and his favorite blade, which he's named Mari, and heads out to the party. He's already there waiting when he sees Cara and Sloane pull up. He's very pleased to see her angel costume, especially since it will stand out in a crowd with her white wings and halo. It doesn't take too long for Sloane to be distracted by some guy, and he watches as Cara heads to get some punch, and then he sees her ex, Jonah, walking up and putting his arm around her waist, whispering in her ear. And then Jonah is leading her away from the crowd and pulling her up a staircase. Brett follows. They head to a guest room, and they don't even close the door all the way. Jonah pushes her up against the wall and kisses Cara. Cara had already downed full cups of punch, plus what she had before, and she does encourage Sloane to go off with the guy who showed her interest to go get some. But being by herself and a little bit more than tipsy made it easier to just give in when stupid Jonah tempted a quickie in front of her. She hates him, but getting laid isn't a bad idea. Jonah's pretty drunk, and when he slams her into the wall and kisses her, he also unzips himself and shoves his fingers right in with no thought at all. He's just being sloppy. He gives up and slams himself into her. It's not great. He's messy, none of it's good. He pulls out and tries to grab her by the hair and forces her onto her knees, but she's drunk and uncoordinated, and mid trying to stop it and him trying to push her down, it just ends up getting all over her face instead, and she's pissed, and he's confused and is just saying thanks as he winks at her and leaves.
I don't think he's confused. He's just a dick. He's also drunk.
Yeah. But that in the drunken confusion is what I had meant.
I
Yeah.
hate him so much.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, what the fuck? She finds a bathroom to clean herself up and then tries to head off to find Sloane, feeling a little sober from that event. So she grabs two shot glasses off a drink table on her way as she heads outside and shoots them down fast. She doesn't see Sloane right away, so she gets distracted watching people bob for apples, which she's really confused about why people are doing this weird event in the middle of the yard when it's dark outside while everyone's drunk. It is such an odd thing that it has her mesmerized watching drunk people try to bob for apples when someone yells out that it's her turn. The alcohol is kicked in, and she says, fuck it. It'll be a good cover, anyways, for the fact that she had to wash off some of her makeup from the whole, come on the face thing. She's not doing well, and she's about to give up and head for air when a hand pushes her head back under the water and forces her whole head underneath. She can't
Murder.
breathe. She's
Instant.
sucking in mouthfuls of water. She feels like she's drowning. She's flailing, and by the time the hand releases her, she's gasping and coughing, and all she can hear is Jonah laughing when she is nearly in tears, saying, "What the fuck?" to him. He just says, "Calm down. It was a joke." Nope. Dead. Never. Absolutely not. Nope. No, thank you. Bye bye.
It's the
Do we
fact that
need
it
to
took.
explain what jokes are?
It was not very funny.
Jokes are not pranks. Jokes are funny for all people involved.
Yeah, that
And
was
when you
not.
say something as a joke after you do something douchey, that's called gaslighting. Just
Well,
saying.
I mean, he sucks, so.
Yeah. She tells him it wasn't funny and that he was drowning her. And he says that he likes forcing her to her knees. And then he winks again and turns and walks away. She's so frustrated, but she's just trying to breathe. And then something else catches her eye beyond the fire. And she sees a shadow of a man across the way with a scarecrow mask just watching, and she gets chills. But then Sloane is there asking what happened, and she just says that she went bobbing for an apple and fell in. Sloane doesn't quite believe her. Rhett watched through the crack as Jonah, well, if you could call it fucking, fucked Cara. And he's pretty angry that she even let Jonah touch her. He thought they had a moment at the coffee shop. And then to allow him to mark her like that, like she was his? It's very lucky that Rhett has a lot of self-control, or Jonah would have had his throat slit in that moment. And then, to make it worse, when he did that to her in the apple bobbing game, the only thing that kept Rhett from killing Jonah was Cara when she had her eyes locked on Rhett's. He was just frozen. standing there. He sees Sloane catch up to her and can tell how drunk Cara is. But the girls return to the house and keep drinking until they stumble towards a car an hour later as Sloane says that she called them an Uber. Rhett opens his phone, does a little tappy tap, and has their Uber ride canceled. And then he goes and finds a party goer that might not be missing his keys. Sure enough, finds someone passed out in the grass, and in his pockets he finds pre-rolled joints, a lighter, a
Finds is
condom,
a
and a set of
interesting
keys.
term. He trips over this guy laying on the ground.
Finds it one way or another.
Yeah, that's true.
What a perfect opportunity, you know? He takes them all and takes off his mask, sliding into the car that the keys open, and finds a red hoodie in the back seat to cover his black clothes a little. And then he pulls out his phone and again tappy taps to put in the make and model of the car that he just stole. Well, he says borrowed. And he puts it into the app and sends a message through the app to Sloane's phone, letting her know that the driver has arrived. And he makes his way over to them. They claim right in. Cara stumbles out her address. He knew exactly where he was going.
Duh.
Silly. Cara is very drunk and slurring her words, but she sees in the mirror and says she knows him,
I
remembers
know
him.
you.
Yeah, like
See, for me, it wasn't confusion. It was more of a joke. Oh my God, I know you. Like, she is me when
where do
I'm
I
10
know
sheets
you
to the wind,
from? Yeah.
okay? I had a kick out of it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Sloane's trying to hush her, clearly thinking she's just drunk and like being
That's Ariel.
obnoxious. Yeah.
This is us.
Yeah. Um, and he just gives a small smile and nod, ignoring the whole thing, letting it just happen as he pulls up to Cara's house. And I don't know why they allow this, whether they're not questioning it or what's going on, but he just picks both of them up and carries them to the door.
Well,
I don't know how,
they
if
were,
they're just so
I
drunk.
think they were so drunk because didn't they pass out not long after that?
Yeah.
Like they were gone. I don't
But
think they
yeah,
would have made it into the house.
Sloane unlocks it from his arms and then he just carries them into the house. They are loving it though,
Yeah.
asking if he can carry them everywhere, that they should totally bring him to the party the next night, that they could be carried around because, tomorrow is Halloween and, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
This makes Rhett pause, asking what party? Cara says it's at the pumpkin patch. He should go, as she curls up on the couch and falls asleep. Sloane also does the same on the other end of the couch. So, of course, they're both asleep. So, what is Rhett going to do as the stalker of this book? Oh, he's going to put cameras in Cara's house. Duh.
Duh.
Then he heads back to the party to return the car he borrowed, with his thoughts returning to Jonah as he parks the car. He leaves the keys in it and puts his mask back on and heads to the party and searches for Jonah. He finds him chatting up another girl, though he doesn't make much headway with this one because a friend of hers comes up and pulls her away from Jonah, clearly not liking him or the situation that could happen. Jonah storms off toward a empty fire pit and Rhett finds a seat behind him on a log as Jonah starts smoking a joint. Rhett takes out the bag that he had found earlier in the pocket of the passed out dude, thinking this is a perfect way to lure him in. He passes one to Jonah and they share it back and forth. And Rhett gets his knife ready and makes sure to have it and has it seem like Jonah fumbles a pass. And as he bends down to pick it up, he sinks his knife into Jonah's chest and then pulls it out and pushes it back in over and over like he's mimicking the floppy fish way that Jonah was trying to fuck Cara.
I mean, okay.
Jonah's just frozen. He's not even really putting up a fight. As blood starts leaking from his mouth, it's actually disappointing. Like, he's like, what the fuck?
Well, he's probably high and drunk and has got
That's
no
true.
sense of anything.
Jonah tries to get up and look around to find someone for help, and Rhett tells him everyone's too drunk. People are passing out, and it's a Halloween party. No one's going to think twice about seeing a guy covered in blood. Jonah starts to really panic, and Rhett asks, couldn't he tell how bored she was? How she was silently begging for it to be over? How he's nothing but a one pump chump, and not to worry, it'll be over for him soon.
Good.
But Rhett made sure to puncture all the important organs. At this point, Jonah is flailing on the ground, drowning in his own blood, and Rhett just leans over and finishes him off because really, this is pathetic and he needs to get back to his girl. Then Rhett literally cuts Jonah's head from his body.
Like a headless horseman.
Weird. It takes a while, obviously, because that's, a lot of work. But then he just tosses it down to the grass and drags the body towards the lake, stopping to put in rocks in Jonah's pockets as he goes. Then he pulls the body into the water as far as he can go and just lets him sink.
I just like the fact that it's the body and he just keeps the head.
Yeah.
Body only.
Well, he only needs the head.
I know.
Body, yada, yada.
Okay.
He swims back to shore, grabs Jonah's discarded pumpkin mask off the ground. He did need a new mask, anyways. Everyone's already seen the scarecrow mask, so he tosses that one into the fire and takes the pumpkin one, puts it on, and then he grabs the head and starts to carve it like a jack-o'-lantern. I
Yeah.
don't even know if this is technically possible. I don't know if I want to know or if Crystal's going to have to do some Googling or if she's going to want to. But this is a wild time. He starts popping out eyes out of the sockets
Well, you
and
can do
carving,
that.
yes, and carving through to mimic a jack-o'-lantern. He cuts out and carves through the nose to the center, and then he carves to give him a permanent smile. It's wild.
So here's what I'm thinking. So nose wise,
The
technically,
nose would have been easier, I think.
yes, because if you just take the nose off, that bone is
The
open
cavity,
anyways.
right.
So that makes sense.
And
The
the
mouth
eyes,
can make sense too. You can. You could. I'm just saying because you.
maybe because he put the candle in the
So I'm
mouth,
wondering
so it's
if he ends
flowing
up
through
taking the.
his face.
So I'm wondering if he takes the brain out because once you take the brain out, you got a lot more space for activities.
Right. Lots of room for activities.
Mouth wise, maybe. It's probably possible.
It's a wild time. What?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. He's doing it as a gift for Cara. He's
she loves
carving for
Halloween,
Cara.
and yes, he is carving for Cara.
He is sure that she's going to love it. And then he grabs his carved jack-o'-lantern gift, gets on his motorcycle after securing his gift in his storage bag, and heads home to wash up.
Yeah.
Cara wakes up about 2:30 in the afternoon the next day, completely hungover. She also wakes up to a text from Jonah apologizing from the night before, saying he hopes she's not too mad.
Okay.
We never have any explanation to this. Just saying, which is kind of
I'm
odd, but
assuming he sent it just so it didn't seem like he was actually dead
why if he was going to give the gift?
to keep up the ruse.
But
Duh.
why if it was weird.
I didn't really actually find it that weird.
I wouldn't have if he wasn't so sure that she was going to enjoy her gift and he wasn't going to
I
pretend.
know,
I don't know.
but
It was a whole thing.
he just didn't want to give away the gift too early.
Maybe. They
Because
didn't
if
tell
sh
us. They didn't tell us.
because if she thinks he's dead, maybe she'll start doing like a
And it's
search
not
party.
like he took the phone out of his pocket before he threw him in the lake or anything. I don't know.
He probably I don't know, Ariel. We've read weirder and
Oh, yeah. No, I'm
crazier
not. I'm
shit
not
before.
necessarily mad about it. Anywho, she's not amused at anything that happened with him the night before, and she's just really sick of Jonah altogether. She's done. So she blocks his number. Sloane wakes up and immediately runs to the bathroom to puke because they really should not have drank that much. She asks Cara why she didn't tell her about Jonah because there was gossip at the party, and Cara explains what happened at the party and how she's very done now. And after last night, that was an easy decision.
Guess who's very disappointed?
Not Sloane. They decide to order pizza and tacos to mop up some of the alcohol in their systems and watch movies for the afternoon so that they can start fresh that evening. They're going to chill out and be ready for the party. Rhett spent all evening and day watching the cameras in Kara's house, waiting for her to wake up. He's now a little behind on his actual job, so that's kind of a problem. But the only thing he cares about at the moment is Cara.
Yeah.
And thanks to the cameras, he knows the entire itinerary of the evening and even watches them get ready and sees that Cara has a princess costume for the evening. And as they head off catching a cab, Rhett takes this opportunity to grab his jack-o'-lantern gift from the doorway and head to Cara's house. It's clear from her house that decorations are a big deal to her, as he had seen the night before, especially her carved pumpkin, so he carefully sets up his carved item next to the door where it can be seen. He even puts a candle inside the mouth and lights it. He just knows that Cara's going to love it, especially since she made him do it. She didn't have to let Jonah touch her, not after the moment that they shared. She knew she was his after that. And now she won't be able to forget who she belongs to. Besides, if she does, it'll give him another chance to work on his carving skills.
Yeah, duh.
Win-win.
Hell yeah.
He gets back on his bike and heads off to find her. The cornfield and bonfire are in full effect, and Cara is already drinking as a way to combat her hangover. She can just deal with the effects of that too the next day. This is Halloween after all, and it's her favorite holiday. But suddenly she feels like she's being watched, and then she sees the pumpkin mask and quickly tells Sloane to stand in front of her so that Jonah can't see her. Sloane is disgusted that he couldn't even bother to at least get a different mask. How lazy could he be? The same costume to two different parties? I roll. God.
Ugh.
Cara thinks that they just need more drinks for this. Sloane says that they need to find new fuck buddies. And she makes a crack about Jonah's small dick, and Sloane says that she thought it was weird when he sent her dick pics in high school. Like, why would someone volunteer to show that to someone? And, personally, I've asked myself that same question because that has happened to me. And I just don't understand why someone would send a photo like that. Because, and I was very confused at the time. And, like, honestly, I didn't know what they were showing. Like, I was like, are they showing,
Is that
like,
your thumb?
well, I obviously didn't think it was a thumb, but I thought they were sending me like a flaccid picture. And I'm like, why would you send me that? Are you sending me that you're like not into something? Like, what's going on? But for real, I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's just men, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Never, ever, ever
Be
send.
very, very confident if you're gonna send something. You better.
And not only that, but never send things that aren't asked for.
Yeah, unsolicited dick pics are the
Yeah.
worst. That happened to me once a while years ago when I first got back into dating. And I literally had a dick pic sent to me on Snapchat, opened the snap, wasn't expecting it, saw it, and then threw my phone across the room. Proceeded to be what the actual fuck. But here's the thing, is like
Like, what are you showing me that for?
if it is asked for, you better be so fucking confident
Confident.
in that dick pic because I'm gonna tell you right
Confident.
now
Uh-huh.
that if it is not up to par, I'm going to make fun of you. Though some people pay women to do that. Did you
Make
know
fun of
that?
them.
Yes. That is a
So
thing.
when I
People
have real internet again, that should be my new job.
like legitimately people will pay other people to be mean to them and like be like send me your dick pic so I can make fun of it. And
How
that is
does
the
one
thing.
get that for a job?
Um I don't remember. I know OnlyFans was a big, like a really, really big one for that, and you do custom stuff that way. I can look into it for you.
Yeah. When I have real internet again, I think that should be my job.
But legitimately, that is what they get paid for, is to basically like be mean. I kind of want that job too. That sounds great. I can do that.
I could so do that.
New career path.
I
Oh, because some people want you to rate their dicks. That's a big one, is to rate it. And they really
could
do
do that too.
fully expect you to rate it low.
I could do that too. Fabulous. So,
We've seen
Cara,
enough of them. Sorry.
Cara and Sloan, yeah. Cara and Sloan get drinking and hanging out within the crowd, but Cara steps away for a moment at some point because she really needs to pee. But there's a long line for the porta potties, and there's no way she's waiting in that line. There's no way she can wait that
Pop a
long.
squat.
So she steps into the cornfield because that's good for that. Gross. But she goes in about 50 feet just to have a
Where
little
the fuck else is
privacy.
she supposed to do it?
I don't know.
I have peed in the woods. I've peed
But
on the
in the
side of.
corn, but people are gonna eat that corn. I don't know.
Why would you care?
I
Are
don't, I
you
guess.
eating the corn?
No, I don't really eat corn at all, so
Okay. Pee in the cornfield.
yeah, okay.
Listen, that is okay. First of all, that is not. You think that peeing in the cornfield is disgusting. Keep going as to what happens, Ariel.
Facts. So she's relieving herself, and then she hears boots crunching mid-pee, and she's irritated. She's like, "Who's there?" And then she sees the pumpkin mask, and now she's more than annoyed and
You know,
tells Jonah
oh, go ahead, continue, and
to
then I'll.
get the fuck away from her.
So, my issue is why were they so sure it was Jonah? And I
It was the
understand,
same mask.
right? Well, couldn't other people have those masks? Couldn't someone else been like, I'm gonna get
In
this mask?
theory, yes, but they made a big deal about how small of a town it was, and it was basically the same people from the night before.
I'm just saying.
Yes,
They could have swapped masks.
totally.
Ever thought of that?
She was just assuming because it kept coming after her. But yeah,
Well, guess what, bitch? You're about to find
guess
out.
you're about to find out what happens to people assuming things. So he just stands there staring at her. So she just keeps like spewing verbal shit about his small dick and how he doesn't last very long and how he's selfish and blah, blah, blah. And she finishes and fixes her skirt and stands back up. And she walks up to him, pissed off, drunk, and unamused. You have to remember also she's drunk until she gets a little closer and realizes that it's not Jonah. This person is much bigger than Jonah. And she's suddenly feeling a pit in her stomach. And the man just chuckles and says, "Run, little nightmare." Yeah, that's not scary at all. So what else is she gonna do? She fucking runs. There's a live band that is drowning out her cries for help. Plus, she's a little far away. Live band, by the way. Red hired them. Make sure nobody could hear her. Wild. Rhett follows her through the corn. She's not doing so well running in her heels. He thinks she did that on purpose because she obviously knew this was going to happen and she obviously wants him to catch her. If she really wanted to escape, she would have ran towards the party, towards the people. Duh. She just ran in the opposite direction of him and she's drunk. I don't think it's that deep personally, but okay, buddy. He obviously catches up to her, grabbing her from behind, covering her mouth to muffle her screams, and he just spins her around to look at her and touches her lips and says that her lips would be even prettier wrapped around his cock. And she just eyes him with pure and utter what the fuck hate, and he tells her not to make a noise and to lay down. But After hesitating a moment and seeing the look on his face, she does what she's told. Because, duh, kinda. He takes his knife out and brings it up her body towards her neck, and then he tells her to kiss him. She barks out a laugh. He takes his blade and slices down her breast and then tells her to kiss him or he'll keep going. She pulls the mask up just past his lips and then she kisses him and he grabs her throat. She tells him to get off her and she screams for help. And he pushes her skirt up, seeing she has no underwear on. And then he's happy for a moment because he sees how wet she is. But then he's mad because she came to a party with all these men and didn't put any underwear on. He's not happy. He grabs the handle of his knife and rubs it on her clit. And then he grabs one of the corn cobs and peels the husk off, places it against her mouth, and tells her to suck on it. At her defiance, he tells her that she is his and she will do what he says. She says she's not his. She doesn't even know who he is or why he's wearing that mask. He says she is, and he'll carve his name into her flesh if that's what it takes. She can scream Rhett every day for the rest of her life and make him hurt her again. That they both know that she likes it, but right now, he wants her to be a good girl and suck on the corn like she was told to. She tries to scream for help again, but obviously that opens her mouth, so he shoves the corn in. He fucks her mouth with the corn, and once it's lubed up enough, he brings it down and starts to insert the corn inside her. And then he fucks her with the corn until she comes, and then he takes the corn out and licks it clean. But while he's distracted, licking the corn, Cara's getting away. So he sticks the corn in his pocket and heads after her, realizing that she's a genius. She's heading towards the pumpkin patch. That will be a much better setting to claim his little nightmare. Cara's pissed at herself. She's drunk. She's a fucking idiot. She wants nothing to do with this man, and somehow everything to do with this man. She does not want this dangerous stranger near her, but she also wants him to fuck her and do whatever he wants. She's way too drunk and overwhelmed and overstimulated, but somehow she's aroused at the same time. It's not going well for her or her mental state. She runs through the rest of the cornfield and gets to the pumpkin patch. Red is not far behind her, yelling for her, saying that this is the perfect location for him to claim what's his. He catches up to her, walking next to her, and she tells him to get away. He says he can't, that he made a promise to both of them. After he saw her walk into the coffee shop, she's confused, like what promise? And he says that she'd be his and that he would claim her this evening. He doesn't break promises. She reiterates that she's not his. And she does the
Too bad, bitch.
and she does the only thing she can think of and grabs a rotting pumpkin that's next to her and throws it at him and explodes all over him in his leather jacket, making him freeze in place. So she picks up another one and throws it at his head. He blocks this one, but she just keeps picking up pumpkins and throwing them at him, not sure what else to do, trying to buy herself some time to think of a plan until he runs at her full speed and tackles her to the ground. And then he grabs some vines as if they're rope and uses them to tie her hands above her head and tie down her ankles. I don't know if pumpkin vines are that strong, but
And it,
here we
honestly,
are.
I don't know. And if they're not, she really wasn't trying that hard.
No. No. Well, she was enough for them
No.
to bleed, though. I mean, I don't
Oh no.
know. And then she can hear him unzipping his pants, and he says that this is punishment for not wearing underwear and for fucking Jonah in front of him because she is his, and he will pleasure her how he pleases. He fingers her, and he slowly slides his dick into her so that she can feel every single piece of his Jacob's ladder. Her wrists are getting bloody from the vines trying to fight them, but he knows that this is what she wants. He pulls her top down to free her breasts, and then he spits on them, which is weird. I don't know. I didn't get it. But
Some people have a
he's
spit
into
take. I
that.
don't know.
Yeah. He plays with her nipples as he fucks her, and then he pulls the corn cob back out of his pocket. I thought he was going to fuck her in the ass with it. He did not. He just pushes it back into her mouth, despite her protests. And he eventually pulls it out, and they both come. He cuts her free from the vines and then says to her that they should get her home because he has a surprise for her. Cara's confused. She wants to fight and run, but she knows it's useless. She feels like his prey, but she also wants him to catch her again and claim her again. She knows that's wrong. He just wants to ruin her. But she also kind of wants to let him. She's struggling and she's in a daze. She follows him across a path where he has his bike hidden in some bushes, and then he hands her a helmet and tells her to get on, and she does. What the actual fuck? She doesn't even look back, doesn't try to look for Sloane. None of it. They pull up to her house and
She
she
got
asks,
dickmatized. I don't know
she
what to
did.
tell
She
you.
got dickmatized. I haven't had said that word in a while. She
I
got
know.
dickmatized.
Well,
This
we haven't had
episode,
situations enough
that's
where
true. This
dickmatized
episode is brought to
deserves
you
it.
by
Dick
Dickmatized.
We're so lame.
Yeah. They pull up to her house and she asks how he knew where she lived. He tells her he knows everything about her. She belongs to him, and he takes care of what's his and protects what's his. She's confused, but heads to the door, realizing that he stopped halfway up the path. She's not sure why he's letting her walk all by herself, but it almost makes her feel free for a second. She pulls out her keys and goes to unlock the door and then freezes and sees Jonah's head carefully carved to fit in with the rest of her jack-o'-lanterns. Her keys drop from her hands. She feels the bile rise in her throat as she takes a step back and then hears his voice asking if she likes her gift as he stalks towards her. And that's the end of the entire book. That's where it ends. Like, there's nothing else.
There's a second book, isn't there?
But is it a continuation or is it just something new?
I don't know. I think it's a
And
continuation, to be honest.
that would make it better, I guess.
Because I think the hold on, let me see something. Because if I remember correctly, um, oh, interesting. Well, I do know that there's a special edition of Carving for Cara with a bonus chapter, and it includes
Yes, I
both
did
Cara and
see that.
oh, it has black pages with white text and
All
gold.
right. The next
Ooh,
one, I watched the
cute.
monster learning his ways. Tonight I will cave, succumbing to darkness. The moment I saw her in that cafe, I knew Cara was mine. She can deny it all she wants, but I saw the way her body betrayed her, felt the way her pulse quickened. She crazed me even though she won't admit it. Now my girl is right where she belongs, under my control. She thinks she can resist me and fight against what we both know is inevitable. But I'll never let her go. I'll break her down, strip away every last defense until there's nothing left but her sweet goddamn surrender. She's my obsession, my possession, my little fucking nightmare, and soon she'll know there's no escaping me. Not ever.
So yeah, it's a continuation. Interesting.
So someone I follow says, unlike Kara, I really enjoyed Rhett's jack-o'-lantern. So when he was able to get in touch with his creative side again, I was sold. So
Okay.
apparently Kara did not like it.
Well, that
And
was a
apparently he
spoiler
does it
alert,
again. Yeah.
apparently. Interesting. Okay, well, who was your favorite character?
The barista in the beginning.
You know what? I enjoyed how unhinged Rhett was, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what that says
Honestly,
about me,
his
but
entire, oh, how do I want to put it? His confidence was
yeah.
like there. So I get that. I get that. I get that, honestly.
I
Wow.
feel like in any other situation, you would have been like all over that shit.
I think if I had more book, where if I got into these characters' heads a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would have been,
Okay. At
because
least,
definitely
yeah.
Rhett's just blind confidence and his, she's gonna love this. What do you
Yeah.
mean? She knew we had a connection.
Isn't it so
Definitely.
interesting how, depending on the book and how that specific male character is written, we either like fuck with him or we're like, no, that's too much and what the fuck is wrong with you? Because we've had other books where the male character is like that.
But
But
they're
I
just
think they were
dumb
just
idiots,
they
and
were
it's
written
the way
so
they're written. Yeah.
unlikable
Uh-huh.
that like, no,
Well,
thank
and
you.
we've said this before. You have to create an unhinged character in a way that we either like them or like to hate them.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then you don't have us sold.
Right. That's like whatever fucking book we read a while ago where the male character was that unhinged, but it was
But
like a
it
very
wasn't in a,
unlikable
yes,
unhinged.
exactly. Yes, we've had quite a few of those this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, no, he was right. Rhett was right on the edge for me. But I just needed a little bit more. I feel like maybe if I had read more,
Hmm.
like it felt like it was just too less, like less of a book for me. Like it
I mean,
wasn't a
it's a
whole
novella.
story. I know, but I know a lot of novellas at least have a whole beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah. I think you're wanting too much out of novellas lately. Just let it
Maybe.
be. Let it be.
Let it be. Let it be. Who
Uh,
is your least favorite character?
the douche nugget Jonah with the small dick.
Yeah. And honestly, I didn't really like Sloane either because I felt like
She
she
was
should
more
have.
interested in getting dick than the friendship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what the heck, girl?
Yep. All right. So Amazon gives us a 3.8, Goodreads a 3.4, and Storygraph a 3.27.
Where did you land?
I went like a 3.5. Um, I think if it didn't end on a cliffhanger, I think I didn't know it was going to end on one.
I didn't know either. I thought it
Um,
was I think I honestly, I
that's
think that's
probably why.
half my problem is I went into it thinking it was a whole novella, not a continuation. If my brain had gone into it thinking, oh,
It was
this
a
is
continuation,
a,
it would have been different.
I would have, right, I would have expected that and I wouldn't have looked at it as if it was going to be a whole complete story. And I probably would have been a lot more fine,
Yeah,
like with all of it. And I would have been like,
right.
oh, okay, I'm here for this.
Yeah,
Because
that makes sense.
I was here for it in a way,
Yeah,
but I just was like, wait, this isn't a whole story.
right. Yep.
So I honestly think that if I had that different mindset, it even could have been closer to a 4 for me, but I didn't. So I honestly rated it a 3.
That's fine. We don't always have to agree.
No, but I'm saying like I feel bad because it could have been.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fine.
I
Cool.
wish I had known
Yeah.
going in.
I mean, I
And
knew
I
that it
don't
was
think
like
it's
a,
in the blurb,
I
right?
don't think it's in the blurb, but I do know that I believe it is marked as, hold on 1 second. Book one. Wrecked series book one.
But most of those they end up being like, yeah, but they're connected. You know what I mean? They're
Hmm.
not
So book three is Sloane,
exact. That's what I meant,
and
you
I'm
know?
assuming book four is Sloane.
So
It is
first two are Cara and
because the third book is called Slaying for Sloane.
gotcha.
And then book four is called Sweet Doe. So yeah, book one, Carving for Cara, then Little Nightmare is book number two. And then book three is Slaying for Sloane, and book four is Sweet Doe. So it's,
So if we had known, because if we had known ahead of time, we would have run them both. And that
yeah,
wouldn't have been a big deal because this is a regular episode. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's all good. So,
I wish that we had known and
I know.
personally.
So, peppers.
Um,
Who
the
uses a
corn.
corn on the
I was
cob?
gonna say the corn was something interesting.
Slicing her up with
Um,
a knife a little bit,
so I'm gonna
chasing her down in a
say
cornfield.
Serrano because of the extra.
Yeah, sounds good. Serrano sounds good. Yeah, there was yeah, cool. Survivability. I wouldn't have been at the party, so
I would not have been at the party either. So there's also
but he
that.
probably would have found me any other way because I don't go out. So
Yeah.
I still would have been fine though.
Yeah. I mean, a corn cob sounds interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
Lots of
the texture.
ridges. That's yeah. And the girth, I don't know. This sounds
Depends
interesting.
because there's some
That's
girthier
true.
yeah.
I like
The
the
length of
girthier
it, you
ones.
gotta, you
Like,
know,
yeah.
yeah. Glad that we're debating on corn on the cob. Next week, we tell you if it feels great. I'm just kidding. No, we're
For
not.
science. No, I don't eat
No.
corn, so
Who says you're eating it?
when I start buying corn, my house is gonna be like, what the fuck?
What is this for?
Don't ask
Don't
questions.
ask questions you do not want to know the answer to.
Why are you buying corn? Don't ask
Don't
questions.
ask questions. Hmm.
Oh my gosh. So next week on our Cocktober journey, we are reading Married to the Devil.
Married to the Devil. We've read Lily and Lark, haven't we?
Yes.
We've also read multiple authors that we're reading this month. I
Um,
just realized this.
yes. So we wanted to do another one. That's why we saved it for Halloween time.
See?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was the fuck. I don't know. What was the what was the book we read by her?
We read
Hoarded by
the
the Dragon.
yes. Yes. And I read the first gargoyle one and
Yes.
the basilisk one. And then I was like, dude, this one's about a gargoyle. We can read it. So, Married to the Devil by LeeAnn Lark. A whip. Watch me whip. Watch me nay.
Nanny.
A witch trapped in a marriage of convenience to a deadly gargoyle and the demon who is determined to protect her. I have the revenge against my father that I've always wanted. All it cost me was to get married. And the demon I've come to care for. Or did it? And that's it. So, this is actually connected to Hoarded by the Dragon. If you remember our episode, then this is the girl, the friend who ended up being engaged or betrothed because she was trying to find that object or whatever. This is their story. So if you have not already listened to that episode or read that book, it's a good one to do beforehand. Either way, join us next week to read this one and make sure to keep reading.
And keep it smutty.
She follows him across the she thinks she can resist me and fight against the way. Oh my gosh, and fight. I'm so fucking tired. And oh fuck.
Oh, fuck.